Yeah, I think you'll enjoy his part.
Because they always, like we were saying earlier, it's like they started to do all this satire of politics,
right?
Starting with Sarah Palin.
Oh man,
with Tina
that was
Fey,
perfect. Yeah,
you know? And then ever since then, it's like they had Hillary. They have because you know who I didn't see Saturday Night Live, but you know who's Kamala.
Who? Maya. And you know what? She's cute, and I like her, but she does all of those figures the exact same. She does them all the same.
Oh, so she did the same. Beyonce
yeah, she doesn't try. She doesn't try to do that person. She's basically brings the same game, but because I don't know, they could have used one of the other sisters because they always say, you know, they don't want to put brown face on you, and since she's half black,
exactly,
you know, they can get away with murder. So, but she was all right.
Yeah.
I tell you, the winning line of the whole, and I'm not giving anything away, because it made perfect sense. He said, this is when karma and science collide. And ain't that the truth?
It is. Karma
and science showed themselves. But like you said, if he comes out of this unscathed, girl.
Yeah, it's an interesting political climate.
It really is. It's going to be, I keep thinking it's going to be the worst, 30 days of our life. The vitriol of it all.
I'm just going to meditate.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to join you. I might be knocking on your door saying, I need some meditation, please, from the professional.
Some St. John's
my God.
So continues on with our politics. We have coming on today.
Oh, we have one of the best politicians that I've ever met, and I had the pleasure to know personally because he is doing his thing. He is really making a mark in the city, and I love that. And I feel like he's going to end up doing things that will go maybe nationwide.
So we're going to have some good questions.
We're going to ask a lot of good questions.
Okay,
he's a good guy.
He's ready?
I think he is ready because every time I turn on my TV, my computer, he's everywhere. Okay.
Is he ready for us?
Is he ready for us? He's got a wife and a daughter, so I think he's used to that feminine energy. We're about to find out.
We're gonna
Good luck.
We're going to throw it.
We're going to throw it.
He'll be like, what? Wait, I can't keep up. What are you guys doing?
But I think his daughter's maybe a little bit, almost a teenager. So if that's the case, he'll be ready for that energy.
Oh, well, cool. We're going to take a break, and we're going to bring back our councilman. And we're going to throw a lot of questions at him.
Absolutely, guys. Grab your popcorn and join us. When we come back, City Councilman Edward Pollard will be here. All right.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
This is former Rocket Robert Reed.
This is Mel Hewitt of Athletes United.
And we want to talk to you about our new program and podcast. We're talking about former athletes who are doing a lot of things in the community.
Various athletes in various sports. Swimming, track, soccer, football, baseball, you name it.
Former and current athletes here in the greater Houston area.
All promoting wellness, health. All promoting that which makes us all better.
Of Edge Radio, truth still matters.
And we are back with our Houston Council member, Edward Pollard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank
Welcome.
you for having me.
Oh, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, good morning.
We kind of pulled you over during our voter registration drive.
That was a preview.
Yeah, that was exactly.
Yeah.
We just wanted our folks to get to know you a little bit. But today we're really going to go a little more in depth.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read a short bio. Your bio is like this long, but we want to talk to you. So
okay.
I'll just give them an overview of how awesome of a guy you are.
All right, great.
Okay. So Edward Pollard, he is our current Houston City Council member. He was born and raised in Southwest Houston, where he attended HISD. Which high school did you go to?
Lamar.
Lamar. Oh, good school. He attended Morehouse College in Atlanta, and that's another prestigious school. He was accepted by way of a scholarship to play basketball for Morehouse and earned the title of NCAA Academic All-American. Wow. So Edward graduated from Morehouse with honors, earning your BA in political science with a concentration in pre-law, and then you returned to Houston to practice law.
Yeah, went to Thurgood Marshall for law school. He
is my idol. I love Thurgood Marshall, of course. Then you attained your Juris Doctorate from Thurgood, graduating again with honors with a certificate in government and policy. Okay, just a little bit more. This is what made me really love the kind of person you are. In 2014, you co-founded a nonprofit organization called Suits for Success. And it targets young men.
Yes.
Young men of color or all young men?
All young men, high school age, graduating senior males. We put them through a semester-long mentorship where they learn things they wouldn't learn in a traditional classroom setting, such as etiquette training, resume building, interview techniques, personal finance, how to tie a tie. And at the end of the semester, we give each student a free suit, shirt, and tie.
How awesome is
that? What population does that work with? I know young men, but
yeah, so we mostly focus on high school seniors at District J high schools in HISD, so Southwest Houston, primarily Sharpstown High School.
Very good. That's fantastic. And just a little bit of personal stuff. You are we know you're involved in a lot of leadership and advocacy, and we'll talk about that some more.
Okay.
But I do want the people to know, sorry women, he is married. Okay. His beautiful family includes his wife Vanessa. He has a daughter named Nadia.
Yes.
And then EJ, which is Edward II.
Yes.
So welcome. Okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
We really appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
I think we're just going to jump right in.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Okay. One of the things that was very noteworthy is that letter that you and your colleagues wrote to the mayor.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that letter? It was to address police reform?
Yeah. So currently we have more African American council members in Houston than ever before. So we have 6 black council members down at City Hall. And you know, when it comes to police reform and social injustice and social justice reforms, that's personal for us. We live it every day. And so we didn't want to sit back and wait for the mayor's task force or a certain committee to come out. We wanted our own voices to be on it. And so we came together and we worked for a couple months on the weekends, at night, researching what other cities are doing, what other departments have been doing. And we came up with 25 reforms that we thought could be implemented immediately at the city level that we presented to the mayor to say, this is what we want to see from our department to hold them accountable, to be more transparent and make them stronger.
Wow, that is amazing. How did he receive that? Was the mayor receptive?
He was very receptive. He actually just came out with all of the recommendations that he believes are something that we need to look at from the city council perspective. If you go online to the city of Houston, you'll see the mayor's task force on police reform. It's a 150-page document that a 45 member panel put together, where they researched over the last 3 months so many things that they think we could do and implement at the city level to improve public safety and law enforcement. And so I encourage everyone to go on the city site, look at that. We'll be discussing those reforms over the next several months to implement them and get them going.
So how does that work? So you put together the letter, it goes to the mayor, and the mayor puts to this page, you know, this whole program out. Is this something that we have to vote on, or
no?
And so with that being said, so this is only for Harris County, but not the surrounding areas. Like I live in Fort Bend, so I wouldn't be affected by anything that's going on.
Well,
in
some of
Harris
Fort
County.
Bend is a part of City of Houston, but this will be for the City of Houston, for the Houston Police Department.
So you'd only feel safe while you're driving in Houston, but now on the outskirts.
What we hope is that it can be a model used not only here locally but nationwide. We put a lot of work into these police reforms. We believe in taking the lead on it, and hopefully people see what we're doing and they'll implement it as well.
Yeah, because we were talking earlier saying that Houston is kind of purple. We're a little more, you know.
Well, Houston is actually very blue.
It's blue.
But Harris County is purple.
Yeah, so
yeah,
even so leaving the city of Houston, you know, that's when it's kind of red, and so that's when, like, if I'm driving through Vidor, or if I'm driving through Livingston, I'm a little nervous, and I make sure that I drive the speed limit because I don't want to get stopped. So so I would hope that they do.
Well, a lot of that comes with culture and leadership. You know, we have good leadership here in the city of Houston, and we want to lead by example, and so that other people can see what we're doing, so that can carry on to what they're doing. But that's why it's important to get out there and vote. You know, because you vote for those who lead your particular community, and you want to make sure that they have policies and like-mindedness when it comes to your interests and your and what will make you safe.
So out of the 25 initiatives, how many did he accept?
So we're going through each one of them right now, but he's already put in place several. Just last week, he put in place cite and release, which was a huge one.
That is a big one. I heard you talking about
so
that.
cite and release basically means that the officer will be able just to cite violators for nonviolent misdemeanor crimes instead of taking them to jail. So they'll still have to go to court, of course, but they don't have to go to jail, which does a lot. For one, it's going to cut down on officers' times having to transport, so we can have more patrol on the street. A lot of time when you're going to jail, what happens is you go to jail. Depending on who the judge is, you may not be able to bond out. If you can't bond out, or you're in there for a few days, you could lose your job. You lose your job, then your family doesn't have anyone that will be able to provide for them. It's just a trickle-down effect. And you really don't have to do all that when it's a small, nonviolent violation. So you treat it more so like a traffic ticket.
That's good.
And so if you find someone that's doing something small, but it's still breaking the law, you give them the citation, you make sure that they have to show up to court, and you handle it that way.
And that's a natural de-escalation, basically. There should be. So will there be ramifications if there's a police officer who doesn't follow that cite and release?
For sure. The officer will have to, if they don't follow the cite and release, they have to get that approved by a supervisor. So they can't just on their own say, I'm going to arrest you and take you to jail. There has to be a specific reason. Maybe you're a habitual offender, or maybe something happened on the scene that shows that, okay, this is an exception to the rule. We need to take this person in. But by and large, they should just be receiving a citation and then going to court.
That's fantastic.
You know, it's so interesting because in the clinic, I'm so surprised that there's so many people that are diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot. And so I've seen that a lot, especially with Black men that come into. And so that being said, are they going to do any, like, okay, so the police being called, someone's, you know, actually going through some kind of mental breakdown. What are you guys suggesting for that? Or
so we have a mental health division that's actually one of the best in the nation, but we need to even do better and hire even more trained professionals in that area. So when there is a mental crisis happening, you should be able to call on the CERT team, which is the crisis intervention team, and they should be showing up to the scene with the officers to de-escalate, and they have mental health training that they should be able to implement, so that it isn't just an armed police officer talking to the suspect, but you have a trained professional to try to de-escalate. And so
who would call the person? The police?
Yes.
So when you dial 911 and you say, because it seems like the tragedy is many of the Black men who have been killed, their family members called 911 for a welfare check. They called them to get some assistance, and unfortunately, and then they feel responsible because their loved one has been murdered, basically. Well, so this is a wonderful start.
Yeah, we have to understand we put too much on our police officers.
Oh yeah,
right.
I agree.
We expect our police officers to be able to handle the homeless. We expect them to be able to handle mental issues, substance abuse. Whenever there's an issue, we call the police. And so we need to be able to understand that police officers should come in a lot of different forms. It shouldn't just be the uniform, gun-toting,
that's what we've been taught.
You know, officer that we usually see. We need to look at all of the different things that we ask police officers to do and say, okay, which professionals would be trained best to be in the department to assist?
Okay. So I have a question for
you.
Since you are an attorney,
I forgot to add that.
So if Karen calls on me because Karen just is like, oh, well, you were walking. Why are you walking? I think you're trans. I can't sue Karen for that. You know, like, okay, the police comes out and they find out, oh, okay, well, no, this isn't that situation. She didn't do anything wrong. That's just you being racist. But you call the police.
Right.
So you're taking the police away from something that is serious.
Yeah.
I can't turn around and sue her for slander or what have you, or even press charges against her for doing that against me.
I think you would have a legal cause. You just have to prove it. And so, you know, I think cell phone footage has really been a huge cure for a lot of people when it comes to their recourse, because they're able to film what's going on. Just like the gentleman who was in New York who was bird watching. Right.
That was a good example.
He filmed everything.
I was just always curious.
And Karen lost her job.
Yeah.
But it'd be more than losing. I'd want to.
But you would have to, in any legal case.
Right.
Whenever you pursue something, you have to show what damage did it cause to you. And if it's a civil suit, then the damage would have to be monetary, right? So you would have to prove that, you know, this messed with your mind. Now you have paranoia or anxiety. Now you have to go see a psychologist. You have to come out of pocket to pay for this, and now you have a disorder. There's a monetary value you can put to that. But whenever you sue somebody for whatever on the civil side, you have to prove damages, and damages is monetary loss.
So that being said, do you guys have anything with the task force to say, okay, if you call for things that are frivolous, then you know there's some recourse with that?
Isn't there a crime against that? Isn't there some sort of law against making a false? Basically, it's a false.
I was curious if you know
that's already well, that's already like she said, that's already a law in the books. You just have to enforce it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is part of the Houston law.
No, just period. You can't put false.
Okay, we need to see a lot more mugshots of Karens then.
Yeah, you shouldn't put. You can't put knowingly false information out there on someone to disparage their character.
Okay. Yeah, because the only reason I thought about that, since you were saying if someone's having a mental break, to say, hey, there's other avenues that you can travel. You don't have to go to the police. And just thinking if there's always other avenues that you can travel.
Well, usually the first call will be to the police because it's going to be an emergency situation. It's just important for the police to have the resources and the personnel to be able to address it when they turn up to the scene. You just don't want any old officer, if it's a supreme mental health crisis, you want to have someone who's trained in that area that they can be able to de-escalate as best as possible.
That's good. I'd like to go back to your District J program.
Okay.
Number one, that vehicle is like something out of the future.
I know.
Yeah.
How did you get funded for that? Yeah, it did look like a Batman vehicle.
Yeah. So as a council member, as a district council member, we get $750,000 each year for like an operating budget for our district that we can put towards projects, we can put towards infrastructure, we put towards programming.
The kids are gonna love it.
And so I thought of this District J patrol while I was on the campaign trail about over a year ago, and I said, you know, if I get elected, I want to bring a patrol to our area that is overseen by the community.
Community policing.
So it's real community policing where we identified 10 people who represent each neighborhood in our district.
I love it.
And they sit on a committee and they come up with issues that are plaguing their particular neighborhoods. Once they come up with that list, they then work with HPD to address those issues. And we have a specific patrol that they'll be working with called the District J Patrol, which encompasses differential response team. They're officers with HPD who are trained specifically to handle neighborhood related crimes, substance abuse, mental health, panhandling, loitering, property code violations.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, and so they work collaboratively.
He really did. So are your colleagues excited and thinking they're going to do?
Yeah, but I tried to keep it close to the vest as long as I could, and so I just unveiled it last week, and so everyone is like, wow.
Oh, I want one.
Yeah.
I think we got to take a break.
Well,
okay, let's do it.
Take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk to you about the homeless, since you did mention that, and maybe even look and seeing where drugs are looking in District J and really in Houston.
Okay.
So join us. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to throw some more questions at them with this feminine energy.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Well, hello out there. Hey, my name is Dwayne Hines, Real Talk Real Estate, along with my sidekick,
Damian Hughes.
Hey, and we are the Double D's of real estate. So look, if you're out there and you've been interested in owning a home, but you've been getting run around and you don't know how the process goes, hey, dial the number on the bottom of your screen. Give us a call. Get some real talk, real solutions on all your real estate concerns. We are the Double D's of real estate.
Be sure to catch us every Wednesday on Edge Radio at 11:30 for Real Talk Real Estate. D. Hines, Damian Hughes, the Double D's.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Well, welcome back to How You Livin'. So today we have our councilman.
There you go. Not there yet.
Almost though.
Yeah, you never know.
Right.
That's the next step.
We'll be saying Mr. President one day.
Oh, now you're going way to the
Mr.
top.
President. Well, look how Barack did it. He kind of skipped right past.
And Trump didn't do anything.
Oh God!
I'm sorry.
Just think about that. Means anybody on earth can be president.
It really does.
Did you ever see The Lion King?
Yes, I did.
And so remember whenever
Finally.
they go Mufasa, he go.
No, he bristled. I saw it for the first time, but I don't remember that part. I saw it for the first time like 6 months ago. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, and Lion King, I just saw it like 6 months ago. I gotta watch it.
Way late.
I am very late.
Way
I know.
So the homeless.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is Houston, I mean, I can't compare it to other cities, but what's the homeless situation? It's almost out of control a little bit to me. It's like you see people under bridges sleeping and, so what is...
So the homeless situation is extremely complex. Actually, compared to a lot of other big cities, we're doing much better. If you go out to San Francisco or you go to Los Angeles, you go to Atlanta, I mean, the homeless situation is way worse than it is here.
Right.
But we have just partnered, the city has just partnered with the county to do a $65 million initiative to focus strictly on the homeless and getting them into temporary housing with wraparound services to try to, within 2 years, get them in a stable place. And so that initiative just kicked off. I think it's the most money the city and the county has ever put forth towards a homeless program. When it comes to when you see homeless under the freeways,
right?
That's a complex situation because the city actually doesn't have jurisdiction under the freeways. That's why the homeless goes there, because
my goodness,
it's actually it's state property.
It's like a tent city down there.
Yeah, you have to
it's state property.
Yeah, and so whenever you try to initiate a way in which to remove people, which is tough to do, and you don't really want to do that, then the city will get hit with a lawsuit from the ACLU or someone that basically says you're infringing upon their rights. And so it's a convoluted issue, but one that I think we can tackle with basically focusing on services. What programs and services can we put in place that we can target the homeless population and get them to buy into why these services are important to improve your life? It's harder to do and it's easier said than done, because even with the shelters, you have shelters propped up all over the city to try to get them off the streets and somewhere safe, but the shelters come with rules and regulations. So you can't do drugs, you have to be in by a certain time, things like that. And a lot of people opt out and they don't want to do that. They rather be able to be more free out and about than live under the rules of the shelter. And so we have to take a hybrid approach, try to meet people where they are. But a lot of what we've done in the past hasn't worked to the degree where we like. So we're hoping that this new initiative with the county, where we're putting forth not only resources, but a lot of money for that over the next 3 to 4 years, you should see a dramatic decrease in the homeless population.
So is it a high percentage of veterans that are part of the homeless population?
There are a lot of veterans, unfortunately, that are a part of the homeless population. I wouldn't say it was the majority at all, but they're definitely there. And
I remember there being a rumor that they you correct if I'm wrong, that the veterans or people in the mental institutions from, say, another city, they used to say, well, they come to Houston, they just drop them off.
You know, that's not really a rumor. There is some truth to that. There are cities around the country who, disgracefully, in my opinion, pick up homeless people and transport them to other cities and drop them off.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That happened.
I know one thing. You're right. When I was in Atlanta, it was the saddest thing I.
Atlanta has a lot of
like
homeless
it's such
people.
a rich city. It is.
And
really
it's a much
bad.
smaller city than Houston. You know, it's like the size of Austin. I always say it's a black Austin.
It is. It really is.
Through Atlanta,
but no,
looking at the trees.
I was flabbergasted.
No, if you go downtown,
you got a lot of richness. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go downtown Houston. So I lived in Atlanta for 5 years when I went to Morehouse, and my eyes were wide open, like, wow, I haven't seen homeless this prevalent ever. But when you go out to California, it's even more pronounced because their income level gap is just so wide. Yes, it's so wide because the cost of living, for the most part, drives some people to homelessness, especially in California.
Right.
And their cost of living is so expensive for the average person that, you know, if you lose your job for a few weeks, you find yourself homeless and can't get out of that cycle.
Yeah, because they already say we're already one paycheck away.
A lot of people are.
And then I think, and I was saying, in some of the hotter climates, since there's no winter, they're able to really stay out on the streets a little bit longer. You know, because they don't have to deal with the cold weather.
That is true.
And in California, at least you're not dealing with cold weather.
It's a good way to look at it.
Oh man, yeah. San Francisco, they get it really.
San Francisco
and it's super expensive. Anyone could be homeless there because it is so expensive to live there.
But the ultimate foundation of people being homeless is not being treated equally, or the minimum wage.
A lot of times, it's it does come down to the mental mental health and substance abuse.
Right.
And that's why it's hard to target the homeless population and get them to agree to do certain programs or receive certain services, because it's a mental or substance abuse issue.
Right.
And so that addiction clouds their judgment when it comes to what's best for me. And they start thinking about, you know, the vices more so than the programs. Right. And they're sometimes so far gone that it's hard to bring people back to reality. And that's a tough situation, because it's a human life that you're dealing with, and you want to do everything that you can to make it so that they have an opportunity to thrive, but you're also dealing with the demons that they're facing with substance abuse and mental illness.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to touch back on the police reform, if you don't mind, because that's kind of real near and dear. I have a black son, black husband, black brothers. Anyway, is there like a mental evaluation they have to take, a psychological evaluation?
Yeah, so
to become a police officer.
And also along with that, what is the education level that you need to become a police officer?
Yeah. So yes, the police officers are vetted and they go through evaluations before they get hired. But in our police reform letter to the mayor, we have proposed that there needs to be additional psychiatric and psychological examinations throughout their career. And when it touches on education, right now you just need an associate's degree, which is up from, you know, a high school diploma. But studies have shown that officers who have 4-year degrees are less likely to be in these serious excessive force incidences than those who don't. And so we actually have proposed that we believe that officers should have a 4-year college degree.
That's good.
And what about sensitivity trainings? I mean, are they learning about cultures, how to?
They are, but they need to have more trainings, because right now they have like implicit bias training. They'll have a diversity day, but that's like a one-time thing. And so we need to make sure that they're consistently receiving education and training regarding different ethnicities, cultures, backgrounds, bias, all of that. Even in DC, we found out that they even take their officers now have to take a course in Black history.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And so we've thought about that as well, because you need to have an appreciation for different people, right? And different cultures, different backgrounds, different ethnicities. But if you don't take the time to learn or to educate yourself, then you'll never really have that appreciation. And so those are the things we're focusing on, and the things that I truly believe will make our department stronger. I think we have a great department of some hardworking men and women who go out there every day and risk their lives for our safety. However, everyone can improve, and that's what reform is about. It's about improvement.
Well, with you saying that, how do you feel about your president deciding to get rid of his diversity program within the federal government?
I think our president has done so many asinine things.
Thank you. Let's just keep it real. Okay. For him to say that's a racist program is in itself so
no, that just it says more about his not being really connected to people, because if you only lived on the Hill and never really had to deal with people who were, you know, not in that same place, you don't know.
But you know what? We can't blame it on his ignorance. We really need to blame it on his racism, because he's around enough people.
He doesn't even know.
He's been around enough people to know that a diversity program is not a racist program. I mean,
well, it depends.
But he also, well, do you remember an older? And we're not going to go all the way down there, but there was an interview where he said, "Oh, I would love to be an African American, because then I'd have all these wonderful affirmative actions programs available to me." Remember him saying that?
I don't.
So he's saying he was, you know, we're better off than he is. Okay. So.
Yeah, I think that sometimes it's, you know, you're based, a lot of things are based on life experiences. And so that's what we're saying, like they were saying the average Joe. And so maybe that's why he'll have a different viewpoint, because he grew up in a different kind of mindset.
No, he placates to a certain audience and a certain base. And so for him, I think everything is strategic and it's calculated. He knows what his base wants to hear. Even with the slogan "Make America Great Again," which really isn't his. It started with Ronald Reagan, then Bill Clinton, and now Donald Trump. But he's used the "Make America Great Again" to say we want to make sure that we go back into a time where we had more influence, we had more power, we had more control, we had more say-so, we had more opportunity, because at that point in time, there was less diversity.
Right.
And so it points back to, we don't need a diversity task force, or we don't need to look into diversity, because that's not helping the people who, my base.
Hey, I did see a sign that says, "Keep America Great." I guess he's changed it.
Oh, is that him? Oh, yeah, because it's 4 more years. So that's what they
So
want.
I guess he thinks where we are right now is great.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the
keep all
worst
that
times.
violence going. Yeah.
This is one of the worst
It is
times
one of
in
the
our
worst times ever. How is it great that 209,000 people have died of a disease?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So what do you think? Do you think he's going to come out of this unscathed?
I think, well, do I think he'll get reelected? Is that what you're asking?
Please. I tell you what, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break.
All right.
I'd love to get your take on that, because that's real important. So we'll be right back, guys, with Councilmember Edward Pollard.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We are back, folks, and you have been listening to Councilmember Edward Pollard. He's been schooling us on how things run in the government, and we've got a few more questions.
Okay.
Hey, before we go there.
All right.
So today we have tea.
Yes.
So what tea did you bring for us today, Ms. Robin?
You know what? I'm getting real partial to my favorite combination, which is the green tea with ginger, and then I add blueberry because I like a powerhouse superfood, okay? So the green tea is full of antioxidants, and so is the blueberry.
And the ginger.
And the ginger. And the ginger is great for your digestive, and it's anti-inflammatory. She's becoming my
you all are putting me on. I'm not a tea drinker, but my glass is empty.
Yeah,
so
that's
my
what
cup
we like.
is empty.
We do a lot of converting around here,
Yeah, it's really good.
So we're going to pour you some more, but thank you for bringing it up. So what I like to do.
We want you to be healthy and
Yes.
with a strong immune
There you
system
go.
to fight
There
for
you
us.
go.
There you
You
go.
are out there
I
all the time. We
appreciate
got to
that.
keep you
Yeah.
healthy.
I
All right.
appreciate
So
that.
if nothing else, to drink 1 cup a day, give some to your family, keep them
Okay.
healthy.
I will.
Okay, and I put something in there for your wife, a gift certificate,
Thank
so
you.
she could try it for free.
Oh man, I'm
All
getting
right.
everything
We
today.
got to
See,
keep
we
you
wanna
healthy.
spoil you.
Yeah.
Because we need you.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys, I'll
because
come
also
back.
we might have something we might want to get done in the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
So
just
now we
give me
have
a
a
call.
hotline.
Yeah.
I love it. We're so lucky. We were about to talk to you about him being reelected.
Yeah.
What are the chances? You got some inside scoop for us?
I definitely think it's going to be a close race. I think
Yeah.
it's going to come down to a few states. I think it's going to come down to like Michigan, Ohio, Florida, maybe Nevada, New Hampshire. You know, so we'll see.
Did you know he texted that? I mean, he tweeted that this morning.
What did he tweet?
He said today is the day. Oh, we got to talk about that. Today is the deadline.
Oh yeah.
Today is the deadline
register the vote.
register. So attention, the 5 battleground. He only said the 5 battleground states. No one told him he's the president of the whole country.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. You validated what he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's those. Several states are gonna call this election, and they're swing states.
Yeah.
Before the election, I mean, before COVID, I thought that the president would get reelected.
Oh,
but
yeah, a lot
since
of people.
COVID, and the debacle that it's been, and the leadership and management of it all, how many lives have been lost, I don't see that. Not only the health effects on our country, but the economic impact that it's had on small businesses, which has trickled down to families. And now when you touch people's pockets, regardless if you black, white, Democrat, Republican, you know, if you can't feed your family, you want to go in a different direction.
Absolutely.
So I think that's going to play a role in it. As well as this recent debate, I think he did not do well. And then the sledgehammer was these taxes.
Yeah.
And the fact that he only paid $750, that's crazy. And he
it's
didn't pay
I'm
at
like,
all
the IRS
10 of the
better not
last
come
15
near me.
years. Yeah. So when you add all that up together, I think those people who are in the middle, who are the swing voters, mostly independents, my guess is they'll look at it and say, the economy is not doing well, we're losing jobs, we're losing lives, he's not paying his fair share, let's go in a different direction.
I hope
You
you're
know,
right.
there's so many large corporations that are lay off. Like the airlines getting ready to lay off maybe 30,000.
Oh my goodness,
and Shell's laying off an additional 10,000.
Yeah.
And then I think even Disney World.
So Disney, 20,000.
Well, a lot of the tourism and convention type hospitality type of industries, you know, when you think of Disney World, people only go in there as a luxury on vacation. Well, you can't travel that much, you can't be around people. You know, people are afraid to be out and about, no large gatherings. You don't have a lot of disposable income. So that's going to affect a lot, even when it comes to many businesses going virtual, but they still have the overhead of their offices, right?
Now, I'm curious, though, what do you think would happen to Houston when the oil and gas companies tend to have all these layoffs? Because we are still.
Yeah, that hurts us.
Right.
I mean, that hurts us tremendously because you have layoffs. When you have layoffs, not only can't people provide for their families, but they aren't able to go out there and buy things. And our services that we get, your trash service, the police officers, the firefighters, the roads, whatever, is paid by tax dollars. Those tax dollars are a lot of times your city tax, your sales taxes. Sales tax makes up 30% of our budget. So if you're not buying things, you don't have any sales tax. Without the sales tax, you don't have the same revenue for the services.
Before we have 2 minutes, but this is super important because a lot of public do not understand what defund the police means. And that may really sway their vote. Please help us understand.
Yeah. So there is a faction of people out there that are crying for defund the police, which I'm not a proponent of. But defund the police basically means take money away from the police department and put that money in other departments, like housing or other departments. However, Houston has far fewer police officers than other major cities of our size, and the budget for the Houston Police Department, 90% of it is personnel. So we're strapped in as it is. The reason I had to come up with the District J Patrol to focus on more neighborhood violations because you don't have enough police officers to focus on at all. What we need to focus on is reallocating money within the department to have better trained officers to make sure that we hold our officers accountable and are more transparent with the public about what's going on within the department. We don't need less police officers.
That's what it meant. That it meant reallocate the funds to
well,
other programs.
reallocation is different than defund.
Okay, but when they explain defund, well, the people who advocate for it, they said it's not to take away money from the police department. It's to reallocate it to more social parts of the police.
Maybe they should have not said defund.
That's a horrible word because it's really
I'm all for
stopping
reallocating within the department, but I don't want to take money away from the department to give to someone else.
Absolutely. But they don't need.
And our communities actually call the police much higher than others. And that's a whole nother subject because we have a lot of issues that really is systematic is why we're calling the police. But yeah.
So you know what this means.
What?
You're going to have to come back again.
Yeah, I opened that door, right?
As soon as you said that, it's like, so.
But any opportunity I have to be able to sit with you two,
so grateful.
I'm going to take that.
We are
I'm going to take that opportunity.
Grateful to you. Thank you. You're like one of the most genuine politicians I've ever encountered.
I appreciate it.
And you're getting your job done. I see a long future for you.
So give us all your
how do people reach you?
My name is Edward Pollard, Pollard. You can find me on any social media platform. Instagram is edwardpollard.esq. You can reach out to my city office at District J at HoustonTX.gov.
That's fantastic, and we'll be able to share more and more of that.
We're going to have you probably before the election for sure.
Definitely.
So be prepared. So after the election,
I'll definitely come back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We loved having you. All right, guys, we will see you next Monday. We will definitely have Councilmember Pollard back. But in the meantime, we want to ask you, how you living?